I've always believed that life has a way of teaching us, often when we're not paying attention. Some of the greatest lessons I've learned didn't come from people or books, but from the quiet observation of the world around me. And one of the most profound teachers I've ever had was a river. It was a crisp autumn morning when I first sat by that river. I wasn't looking for answers that day, just a moment of peace. Life had felt heavy. Decisions I couldn't make, situations I couldn't control, and the weight of expectations pressing down on me. I was lost in thought, tangled in frustration when the river caught my attention. At first it was the sound, a soft, consistent murmur that seemed to speak directly to my restless mind. I watched the water as it wove its way around rocks, slipped over obstacles, and never once stopped moving forward. There was no hesitation, no frustration, just an effortless flow. It was as if the river was whispering a simple truth: keep moving. I began to notice how the river adapted. When it met resistance, it didn't fight. It didn't try to break through the rocks or change their course. It simply found another way. It reminded me of all the times I had exhausted myself, fighting against things I couldn't change, trying to force solutions that weren't meant to be. The river showed me the beauty of surrender, of finding another path without losing momentum. I saw a leaf fall into the water. At first it spun in a tiny whirlpool trapped in a circular current. It didn't resist, it let the water carry it. Eventually the current released it and it flowed downstream, free again. It was a small moment, but it spoke volumes. Sometimes we feel stuck, as though life is forcing us to stay in one place. But maybe those moments aren't about stagnation. They're about preparation. Like the leaf, we're waiting for the right current to set us free. And then there were the rapids and waterfalls, moments of chaos where the river roared with power, crashing against itself. But even in those wild places, it never lost its direction. The river taught me that life will bring turbulence, moments that feel overwhelming when everything seems out of control. But if we trust ourselves to keep moving forward, we'll find calm waters again. As I sat there watching this river teach me more about life than I had learned in months, a thought struck me. The river doesn't stop to question its purpose. It doesn't pause to wonder if it's moving fast enough or if it's taking the right path. It simply flows. And in doing so, it nourishes everything around it. Fish swim in its depths, plants grow along its banks, and animals gather to drink from its waters. Its existence is its purpose, and maybe ours is too. We spend so much time searching for meaning, trying to figure out if we're on the right track, if we're doing enough, being enough. But what if we're like the river? What if our purpose isn't about achieving some grand destination, but about flowing, adapting, and nourishing the lives we touch along the way? That day by the river changed me. It didn't solve my problems, but it gave me perspective. It reminded me that life isn't always about control, it's about movement. It's about trusting the flow, even when the path isn't clear. And it's about recognizing that every obstacle, every bend in the river is shaping us into something stronger, something more resilient. So the next time you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure of your path, remember the river. Let its lessons guide you. Keep moving, adapt to what you can't change, and trust that even the roughest waters will lead to calmer shores. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to flow. This is just one lesson from the world around us. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel for more reflections and insights from life's greatest teachers.